In this episode of Highlight Sundays, the MacBook, Smartwatch, Xbox, and the Telegram. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 25th week of 2013 and here are your highlights. We start off with our PSA of the week. So if you actually bought a MacBook Pro and you've bought a third-party battery, this might concern you, so do pay attention. This article is entitled, Best Buy is recalling thousands of MacBook Pro batteries over fire risk. Now according to the article, this is actually a third-party battery. It's not manufactured by Apple, and apparently Best Buy, who has been selling this, has received a lot of complaints that this battery actually grew extra hot while charging. About 5,100 customers are actually affected by this, and according to the article, Best Buy will actually, take the batteries back and give you a gift card. The manufacturer of these batteries is a company called ATG, and these units are actually sold between September 2008 to June 2012. And if you did actually buy something that fits that description, go ahead and verify against these model numbers. If it is actually one of these units, go and get it changed. I mean, it is a danger, so yeah, work on it. And if you actually use this for a couple of years already, I think Best Buy is going to take it back anyway, and you get a gift card, so you have nothing to lose. Our next article comes from Lifehacker and is entitled, What Can I Do with a Smartwatch and Should I Get One? Now, followers of my channel will probably know this very well, but I am extremely interested in smartwatch and smartwatch-like gear, so of course this article makes good reading for me. What's cool about this article is that, well, it does actually summarize some of the key features that are present in a lot of smartwatches today, and it actually takes a couple of existing smartwatches and pits them against each other. You remember back then I complained that the Pebble is kinda expensive. Well, it is still the cheapest smartwatch out there, so that's one thing to note. And yes, it does seem that, most smartwatches offer the same kind of features, which is smartphone connectivity, and of course, actually outsourcing their notifications to the watch itself instead of on your phone. Emphasis is also placed on the fact that you can actually upgrade and customize a smartwatch, and of course, that is a very important feature for a lot of us who are actually interested in, doing just that. The article also goes in depth with 3 of the smartwatches, including the Pebble, a smartwatch called the Martian Victory, and another one called the Meta Watch Frame. Pretty interesting in-depth look, so if you're interested in smartwatches, you should really check this article out. As always, the link is in the video description. Next, we have another juicy one from Gizmodo, and it's entitled, Xbox One just gave up on its DRM. For those of you following the gaming industry, you probably know the uproar raised when, Xbox One came out with all its restrictive things like having to check online once every 24 hours and actually imposing fees on buying and selling used games. Well, apparently Microsoft heard that feedback too, and they are actually backpedaling on that, which I guess it's the only reasonable thing to do at this stage. Now, Microsoft has actually released an official statement which you can read if you head down to the video description. The entire statement is actually quoted in the Gizmodo article, and typical to such situations, the wording is slightly on the vague side. Microsoft is pretty clear in saying that disk-based games will not need to actually, verify online. More importantly, they have also clarified that you can actually lend people your game disc or sell it. And of course, Microsoft will not impose any restrictions on your doing that. Now, like the article says, this statement doesn't actually prevent DRM from happening. It's just saying that we didn't implement, the original DRM ideas that we had, but that doesn't actually prohibit such implementation. So, well, things are still kinda open, I guess, but, well, it's a huge step forward, and I'm happy that that's what they chose to do. Our last article comes from Mashable and is entitled, India to Send Last Telegram in July. Now here's the deal. I would hazard a guess that 99% of us won't actually be using telegrams in our day-to-day life, but I guess this is something with historical significance. It is a precursor to a lot of modern things we are doing today, which is why of course its removal as a state-supported service in India is actually, causing people to be a little bit nostalgic, a little bit sad. Now, the article linked in the video description also actually covers a little bit of history if you are interested to find out more about the Telegram. But as noted, this is actually just the government stopping support for the service. It doesn't actually mean the service is completely dead, because of course there are actually private providers, though I'm not sure how long they will want to keep this running for. I'm not sure if I see a need to keep it running, but well, it is a piece of history and I guess it ought to be remembered, even if in a non-working state. And that's it, that's all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. Very quick vlog. The weather is terrible here. Now I don't normally get to say that because we have pretty acceptable weather throughout the year, but well, this is, something different, I guess. So I mean, just take a look at this. This is and this, ladies and gentlemen, is how horrendous it looks outside right now. That is not someone burning something in the area. It is just how foggy it is. Look at that. It actually looks much worse IRL than through the lens of a camera. But yeah, this is just terrible. I mean, just look at this. It is 12 noon and this is the color of the sunlight. Well, that's all there is for this episode of Highlight Sundays. If you have any comments, queries or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/0612tv. As always, I appreciate every like, favorite and subscription you give me. But until next time, you're watching 0612TV.